Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down the evidence-based standard of care for people living with ALS. It's a model that has absolutely changed the game, and we're going to see exactly how it works.
So let's just dive right in. Why is managing ALS so incredibly complex? Well, the central challenge for patients and their families is that ALS doesn't just stay in one neat little box.
And that's because, as you see here, it's what's known as a multi-system condition. And that's the key. While we often think of it as a neurological disease, and it is, its effects ripple out across the whole body. That right there is why one single specialist, no matter how brilliant they are, just can't manage it all alone. So to really understand the solution, we first have to get our heads around the problem. Let's take a look at the sheer challenge of coordinating care for a disease this far-reaching, and why the traditional way of doing things often just doesn't cut it. This really lays it out. On the left, you've got what's called siloed care, and you can just feel the chaos, right? Disconnected appointments, constantly reacting to problems, maybe even getting conflicting advice. It puts this huge burden on the family to be the project manager for everything. But now, look at the right. It's a whole different world. One visit, one team, and one single care plan that's always looking ahead to anticipate problems before they start. Okay, so how do we fix that fragmented, stressful experience on the left? Well, the answer has become the absolute gold standard in ALS care, the multidisciplinary clinic. I love this pit crew analogy because it's perfect. Think about it. A pit crew doesn't just wait for something to break on the car. They are proactively managing every single system, tires, fuel, engine, to keep that car on the track and performing at its best. That's the exact same mindset here. It's proactive, not reactive. So who's on this pit crew? This gives you a look at the core team. A full clinic might have even more specialists, but these are the folks you'll usually see in that one coordinated visit. And every single one of them brings a critical piece of the puzzle to the table, from managing the physical side of things to providing that vital emotional and practical support. This all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually mean for someone living with ALS day to day? Let's dig into the real, tangible benefits of this team approach. First things first, the team's number one, top of the list priority is respiratory health. Why? Simple. Because breathing is the single biggest challenge in ALS, and managing it proactively makes a world of difference. This is where that proactive mindset really shines. The team isn't waiting for a crisis. They're doing regular breathing tests to track the data. That lets them bring in support, like a BiPAP machine, early, way before it becomes an emergency. The whole goal is to stay ahead of the curve and avoid those crisis-driven hospital stays. Next up is the fuel that runs the engine. Nutrition is so important because it's directly linked to preserving muscle and strength, so keeping weight stable becomes a huge focus for the whole team. And again, it's a total team effort. You've got the speech pathologist making sure swallowing is safe, while at the same time, the dietitian is making a plan to get all the right calories and protein in. They're solving the problem from both sides. And crucially, they start those conversations about future support, like feeding tubes, early on, so those decisions are made thoughtfully, not in a panic. But hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just a nice idea that feels right. This entire approach is backed by decades of solid, consistent, and really compelling research from all over the world. Let's actually look at what that data tells us, because the numbers, well, they paint a really powerful picture about the impact this kind of care has on real lives. And here we go. Check this out. This chart isn't about some obscure medical metric. It's about how people themselves feel about their lives. It's their reported quality of life. And the difference is just night and day. People in multidisciplinary care consistently report feeling significantly better and more in control. That's a huge deal. And this slide really hammers it home. The research is crystal clear on these points. People in this care model tend to live significantly longer, they have fewer emergency hospital trips, and, this is so important, their families, their caregivers experience dramatically less stress. It's a win, a win, a win. But as powerful as all that data is, it really doesn't capture the whole story. Some of the biggest, most profound benefits of this approach are all about the human experience of walking this path. This quote from the research it hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Beyond all the medicine and the therapies, this approach fundamentally changes the emotional and psychological feeling of living with ALS. Think about what reduced cognitive load means. It means taking away that massive mental weight of having to coordinate everything yourself, of worrying that you're missing something. This model gives you a feeling of control back. You build real trust because you see a continuous team that knows you. It gives you a sense that you are not alone in this. And maybe the most important thing of all, it makes sure the care you get actually aligns with your personal values.
So the takeaway here couldn't be clearer. For ALS, multidisciplinary care isn't just a nice to have, it is the standard of care. But it also leaves us with this really powerful question to think about. This coordinated, proactive, and deeply human-centered approach has transformed the journey for one of the most challenging diseases we know. Just imagine. Imagine how many other lives could be changed if this became the model for all complex care.